Welcome to Libertex. Since hitting highs in August of last year, gold has been on a downward spiral since, falling about 18% from this period with several small rallies in between that have disappointingly proved unsustainable. However, with the levels gold is sitting at currently, many traders are speculating that the support range gold is coming into is in a very similar range to where gold was trading at through April to July of 2020 before gold shot to new highs, and at these levels, could begin to usher more buyers into gold. Stay until the end of this gold price forecast and gold analysis video for the support and resistance levels gold could see this month, as well as the fundamentals and latest events that will influence the price action for gold in April. To help us create more content about gold, as well as the top cryptocurrencies, stocks, and latest news influencing the markets, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to help us grow and to provide you with the latest news to keep you ahead of the trends as they relate to your trading. So without further ado, let's get started with gold for April. April is set to be a very interesting month for gold. Recent reports show that the dollar is gaining in strength, which has a tendency to hurt gold prices. Despite this, gold is now trading at a historic support level that realized a bounce to the upside last year that even while declining over time, had held above since last summer. And while the USD has experienced some nice gains towards the end of March, as we go into April we can clearly see that there has been some profit taking on the dollar's run-up, which could possibly stabilize gold prices for April and prevent a further move to the downside. This of course remains to be seen, and there are several other factors that are surfacing to influence the price of gold this month. As many know by now, one of the most central reasons for the gold rally last year was due to the extreme uncertainty that the COVID pandemic brought to the markets. When markets crash and volatility is high, gold prices tend to gain in strength. This is because gold is the traditional and historic safe haven asset and is used by many investors to hedge against market uncertainty as a place to store capital and see returns throughout turbulence. Now, however, the sentiment seems to have gradually shifted a bit, and the outlook for the US economy is much more positive than it was several months ago. The speed and rollout of the COVID vaccine in the United States has been impressive, and this is something the markets like to see. This is not the best news for gold, however, as sentiment may shift further into normal markets and the necessity to protect against uncertainty will be less obvious over time. Joe Biden has now announced plans to make over 90% of adult Americans eligible for the COVID vaccine by April 19th. And on top of that, we'll be outlining more details to the $3 to $4 trillion infrastructure spending initiative in the coming days. These developments, along with the rise of US Treasury yields, could exert enough pressure to handicap further gains for gold. But there are many traders that believe massive inflation is still on the horizon with the increased spending initiatives, and that the support level gold is trading into currently could be a foundational point to build out positions with the yellow metal. Let's go ahead and jump into the gold technical analysis and examine the charts to get a better view and understanding of how gold has been trading and where we could see it move throughout the month of April 2021. Alright, we are now in the Libertex terminal looking at the technical chart for gold, and looking at the yearly we can clearly see the rally that gold has experienced last year as buyers rushed into gold to hedge against the unprecedented volatility we saw in the general markets for nearly every sector with the onslaught of the pandemic. Since then, however, gold has been on a decline, albeit with several small rallies in between, to where we are currently sitting going into April at around 1686, 1685. And what's interesting about this level is that the price action is very similar to what we experienced back in April to July of last summer, before gold took off to new highs, its greatest rally since the pandemic. So coming in for a closer view, the levels of resistance gold will likely experience with the area it's trading around now will be to first break past the high we saw on March 1st of 1760 an ounce, before going to the next point of resistance at around 1850, its high from February 23rd. And in the event of an extended rally, the February 10th high of around 1855 is likely. The level of support gold is consolidating at currently, let's just take a look back to view that. If this can be sustained and a similar pattern is initiated like what we saw last summer, of course, the safer move would be to watch and see how gold can sustain this area from here. But if this pattern is initiated similar to what we saw last summer, it's certainly possible that gold could see further gains throughout April, especially if more optimism continues to come into the markets with reopening and a swift vaccine distributions. So for a look to the downside, the next level of support that gold is likely to see if the current trend breaks is the March 8th low of 1675 an ounce, followed by the June 2020 low of 1670 an ounce, and then to the April 2020 low of 1660 an ounce. So as you can see, we have been on a downtrend for gold, but the hope for bullish traders is that the level we are seeing going into April could be a turning point for the yellow metal, and that these levels could persuade more interest. So for this reason, it's possible we could get a move back to the upside, but as we've seen throughout the past year, sustainability will be a key issue. Do you think gold will make a comeback this month? Let us know your thoughts and price predictions for gold in the comments to join the conversation with our analysts and community. If you're interested in taking up positions with gold and trading it, whether for the long or short term, Libertex makes it easy. Head over to libertex.com or via the links in the description to make a free account in just a few minutes and get in on the action. Not only do we offer gold, silver, and the other metals, but also the top cryptocurrencies, stock CFDs, forex pairs, and more. We hope you enjoyed this gold price forecast video for April and that it gave you a bit more insight on where we could possibly see gold trading this month. Make sure to like this video to help us make more updates and support our mission to give traders a sharper edge. We wish you a great month of trading and look forward to seeing you next time.